GSL Code S. It's back. Round of 8. This is the final match here, guys. Artosis and Valdez bringing it to you. It's going to be herO going up against Rogue. And that is one sick match right there.
Yeah, I'm really happy to get into this one. We just had an insane best of 5 between Life and Innovation. Life just creates these super fun series. He plays against like amazing Terrans and just barely wins or just barely loses, as we saw yesterday. Happy's made it through. I know a lot of Innovation fans are probably sad. He was very close as well. But like we said before, he'll be back in no time. Back next week, in fact.
And look, as far as Terran fans go, you got a TVT Finals in SSL, and you got a Terran already in the top 4 at GSL. So I think you're doing fine. Now this next match, PVZ. Well, what do you think about it, Rogue against herO?
I think it's going to be another exciting one. I would definitely have to throw this one to herO. I'd say 3-1. We were talking about this during the break. I don't know. Rogue's a very strong Zerg, but I just feel like herO's win percentage against Zerg is something godly, like 87%. I was reading something on Team Liquid. I'm like, wait,
right.
what? Like, really? Really?
He's definitely the best Protoss in the world right now, and he's definitely the best PVZ in the world. But let's watch this video. Here we go, guys. We're going to go ahead and do this interview.
자, 8강 4경기가 이제 시작됐습니다. 자, 남은 4강 진출 티켓을 걸고 오늘 김준호 선수와 이병렬 선수 두 선수가
the last person who's going to take
오늘 어떤
the train to the semifinal.
오셨을지 만나보도록 하겠습니다. 안녕하세요.
Who will face live?
안녕하세요.
Hello, 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 hello.
네. 자, 오늘 이 두 선수
translating
모두
there. No problem.
GSL 첫 4강을 꿈꾸고 있다는 공통점이 있죠. 자, 김준호
Both the players
선수 4강
have
가야죠.
the same goal.
네,
to be
오늘
the
어떤
first,
각오를 했어요?
first round of 4 for them. In all of their life for in GSL.
제 목표와 꿈이 있기 때문에 열심히 연습해서 좀 극복하고 잘 극복해서 온 것 같아요.
네, 꿈은
It was really hard to prepare for these matches.
힘들다고 하셨는데 어떤 점이 힘드셨어요?
I have goals and dreams, and I can do it.
약간 다전제를 하다 보니까 맵이
What was really difficult for you to prepare for today?
네, 이병렬 선수 상대로서 좀 두려운 마음은 없으세요?
Well, the maps were pretty hard to choose.
왔는데 최근에 방송에서
There's like a lot of different maps here I have to be prepared for, and that's pretty tough.
좀 약한 것 같더라고요.
네, 그 점을 공략하는
I watched Rogue's matches recently, and his mentality is his weakness.
네, 이렇게 이병렬 선수에
I
대한
can break down his
분석을
mentality
마치고
easily, I
오셨는데
think.
자, 이병렬 선수 오늘 자신
Now we're going
있으세요?
to go ahead and talk to Rogue. Are you confident today, Rogue?
자신은 없는데 그냥 감으로 하려고 생각하고 있어요.
When I have practice matches against herO, I lose very often. So I'm not that confident, but I'm going to play my best, do my best to win over herO.
제가 뭔가 두려움이 없는 상대라고 생각해가지고 편하게
Says herO is a really, really
드디어
great
두렵지
player.
않은 상대를 만나셨네요.
네.
자, 야, 연습실 본자 벗어 던지고 8강까지 왔습니다. 여기서 만족할 수 없잖아요. 이번 시즌 느낌 어떠세요?
4강이 승연이라서
How are you feeling about this season so
힘들 것
far?
같긴 한데 우선 준호 형을 이기고 준비만 잘하면 결승까지 갈 수 있을 것 같아요.
네,
We already
지금
know
이승현
who's
선수
going to be our next
이야기하셨는데
opponent,
앞서
so
이승현
even
선수가
if I made it to the
감격적인
next
상승을
round,
이루면서
it's
이
still
다음
going to be
상대에 대한
really,
이야기를
really
했습니다. 그
But he says
이야기에서
that if he's able to win tonight, he thinks it's definitely possible that he can win against Life as well.
자신이 없다 지금은 이렇게 또 칭찬을
Did you guys
해주셨어요.
hear what Life said when we had the winners interview? He said
자기가 결승에 갈 수
he doesn't want to face
상대라고
herO.
생각해서 이번에 열심히 해서 올라오시길
But when he comes to
바라네요.
Rogue, he thinks it's doable.
말 혹시 있으신가요?
Any words about that?
근데 제가 승현이라도 제가 올라오길 바랄 것 같아가지고
네.
딱히 할 말이 없어요.
그렇군요. 빠른 인정 고맙습니다.
He says, if I were live,
자, 김준호 선수는 어떻게 들으니까
he would rather face the Zerg
만족스러우신가요?
as well. So
만족스럽고
he
이제
kind of agrees with life.
정렬이도 저한테 자신 있다.
So how does hero feel?
네.
속으로
I'm
떨고
pretty
있을 것 같아요.
satisfied about those comments.
속으로 떨고 있을 것 같다. 자, 김준호 선수 이렇게 이승현 선수와 이병렬 선수가 이 견제하는
Rogue said
모습을
he's fine to have a match against me,
나타낼
but inside his
정도로
mind, I
최근에
know he's
기세가
scared of
아주
me.
좋습니다. 사실 2015년 전망을 이야기할 때 3대 토스를 많이 이야기했었거든요. 그 3대 토스에 김준호 선수는 없었어요. 그래서 혹시 서운하거나 벼르고 계시거나 하는 마음은 없었나요?
많이 듣긴 했는데 3대투스 근데 신경을 안 쓰려고 했는데 은근히 신경 쓰이긴 하더라고요.
You weren't counted as a top Protoss
은근히
before.
욕심 나는 것 같아요.
Were you
네.
disappointed
바로
about that?
지금 3대 토스가 아닌 김준호 선수가
Says I
가장
was,
기세가 좋은
I tried not to be disappointed, but it kind of bothered
이
me.
좋게 또 그 모습 자신이 스스로
This year is
극복해
gonna be
나가고
different.
있다 말할 수 있을 것
That's right,
같은데요.
it is.
자, 이병렬 선수
네.
실력에 대한 자신감 있으시잖아요. 오늘 보여주고 싶은 거 많으시죠?
네, 저번에 대엽이 형한테 너무
You're confident,
아무것도
right,
못 보여주고 져가지고
And you have a lot of stuff that you want to show to your fans.
하고 싶은 거 다 하고 싶어요.
Rogue
네,
says
자신감 보여주셨으면
that he
좋겠습니다.
thinks that he hasn't really shown his best performance yet to his fans, and he thinks that he has a lot of things to
역시
show.
빠른 인정. 자, 오늘 이렇게
to his fans
큐티보이와
in the future.
섹시보이 사이에서 제가 참 있을 곳이 없는 것 같은데, 자, 서로에게 한마디씩 다정하게
She
나눠보도록
says we have
하겠습니다.
cutie boy here
가장
and
먼저
sexy boy here.
섹시보이가
So let's hear
큐티보이에게
what
한마디
the
Which one's
reaction
할까요?
to
cutie
that.
and which one's sexy?
준호 형
Cutie is hero, sexy is Rogue.
힘들게
Okay.
올라왔지만 제가 상대가 저는 제가 두렵지 않은 상대라서 제가 하고 싶은 것만 다 하면 저는 제가 무난하게 이길 것 같아가지고 준호 형은
It's
여기까지.
been a long way to come
네.
here to the round of 8, and I'm not scared of you at all.
여기까지인 것 같다 말을
And
하셨습니다.
you're
자,
just a
큐티보이가
Protoss. I'm not really
섹시보이가
scared of you
말해주시죠.
in particular.
일단 섹시보이와 하게 돼서 영광이고 고스트레이트 턴 나이트를 하면은 이길 수 있을 것 같아요.
네, 오늘 승리 비결을 알려주셨어요.
It's really an honor to have
사실이에요.
a match against a sexy boy, and if
네,
he
자,
just
이렇게 두 선수의 또 재미있는
goes straight
이야기를
and
나눠봤는데요.
turns
자,
right,
오늘 경기 시작하기
I
전에
can
이
beat
두
him.
선수의 데이터 확인해 보겠습니다.
something from 10 questions, 10
okay.
answers. Okay, I'm confused. Whatever.
There's a show over at Split TV where they do 10 questions and 10 answers in English.
Oh, yeah, and they hit you with
that's
the
where,
hammer.
Yeah, if you get the question wrong, you get hit with the hammer. Rogue said that he was a sexy boy in his one, so that's why he's sexy boy. Hero's
Oh, okay.
nickname is Cutie Boy, or like Smiling Assassin,
That's
something
right.
like that. You
okay.
know.
I
And,
did see that, but my brain blocked it out.
Yeah, I don't know what the go straight and turn right. Oh, he says, what do you do in your free time? Was the question to Rogue, and Rogue said, go straight and turn right. Apparently, as his response. So those are all the inside jokes covered for you guys.
Thank you
There
so
you got
much,
it.
Valdez. You are so helpful. Okay, so here we are. Rogue against Hero. Pretty exciting stuff. You know, I think Rogue, it's really funny because he actually 1 year ago had more hype behind him than he does right
Yeah.
now. And he's actually playing better than back then, kind of. But like back then, like we could only really, it was like him and Sulky and Life, kind of, that were the Zergs that we were really talking about a year ago.
Yeah.
In fact, if I recall correctly,
Sue as
he went to
well.
IEM World
Sue
Championships
and
last
Solar.
year. Yeah. There was like just a few Zergs up there, but he was really great. And here he is again. He's sticking around. He's really good. Can he actually defeat Hero, though?
That is the question on everybody's minds. I'm sure there are a bunch of Zerg fans out there, a bunch of Rogues fans saying that he can, and I think it's definitely possible. I'm still going to
Yeah.
favor Hero here, though.
Yeah, well, when it's the #1 player in the world for their race, and I think that no one can really argue right now that it's like, I think people could argue a little bit about innovation. They might want to say Maru. I don't think anyone can argue about Life. I don't think anyone can argue about Hero. I think those two are locked in as best for their races right now, and
Yeah, I would
the
agree
Terran
with
is
you.
close enough. But, I mean, that's the thing is when you're absolutely the best, and, like, you just look at it, it's like, okay, here's the best Protoss in the world. Okay, Life's the best Zerg in the world. They're so different from everyone else because you can easily set that they're #1 that I
Yeah.
think that you have to be afraid of them because you can't even practice for that.
Of
How
course.
the hell do you prepare to play against Hero? How do you do that? you can't treat him like he's just any Protoss because
he's too
better
versatile.
than everyone.
He's got so many strong builds. He executes them near perfectly. And before we get into more talk about herO, I guess let's take a look at Rogue's recent standings against Protoss. He's faced Myung-Sik a bunch of times. He actually lost against him twice. Once in Pro League, once in the SSL round of 16.
Yeah.
He was able to come back and get his revenge, but, you know.
It's funny, that's...
Not the strongest opponent in Myung-Sik. I feel like his win over Rain there is probably his most impressive thing that's happened recently.
I would agree. I thought it was pretty heroic how he did come back against Myung-Sik because that was pretty tough, but I also want to mention that, well, I guess we're about to see herO's, but he has like kind of the reverse of this where he pounded Life in the round of 16 of SSL, and then Life just went like Zergling all in and killed him.
Yep.
And it was like, I was sitting there watching him like, wow, I guess Life's like really good at messing with people.
It was so funny, that series.
I think that kind of shows the type of level he's at, that like Life had to really break out the cheesiest of cheese to take him out. But this guy, I mean, I study him like way more than everyone else right now, even more than Zest and Rain, which is weird for me to say, but it is true. This guy is insanely good at the moment. Best Protoss there is.
Yeah, I don't actually think it's that strange, you know, that you study him that much. You know?
Yeah, well, the thing is,
Zest kind of falling off. Rain still pretty good.
Yeah.
Still very strong, in fact. Pretty good is understatement.
But herO is just like a god tier player. The one thing I'm very interested to see, does Rogue try to go Swarm Host style? Because herO is by far the best Swarm Host Zerg killer in the world. By far, it's not even close. No one is nearly as good at killing Swarm Host players as he is.
Yeah.
So, will Rogue do that? Or maybe he'll stay on the kind of current trend of Viper Rushes and stuff like that. I would like to see that. I think of Viper Rush type of play, like Roach Hydra when I think of Rogue.
That's exactly what I was going to say. Whenever I think of this guy, this is exactly what I see. Overgrowth is going to be the first map here. It's going to be a 2-player map, not the biggest one in the pool. Definitely not the worst map to go for something like that.
It's a solid map to start. Everyone's comfortable here.
Yeah.
Everyone's played this map a bajillion times, so probably not any real shenanigans can go on here. We should be starting this pretty quickly, guys. This is the last match in the round of 8. GSL Code S Rogue against herO.
Up here in the top right in the yellow, the Zerg player, he is
GNL Green Wings Rogue.
And his opponent in the bottom left, best Protoss player currently, he is
CJ herO.
herO's such a nice guy. I've talked to him a couple of times. He's just like all smiles all the time. His nickname, of course, is Smiling Assassin.
Yeah, that's a cute one.
And I don't know. He's just
cheers to Red Eye. I know he's
super
watching.
Nice guy. He's just always, I don't know, always really happy. And who wouldn't be when you're this successful? When everything's going like really awesomely for you in life, who wouldn't be this happy?
Yeah, him and Life are killing it, man.
Yeah.
And I think it's just fantastic that we have potential to have the best Protoss and best Zerg in the round of 4 playing against each other, and we just had the best Terran and best Zerg play each other in the round of 8, and like, I don't know, StarCraft II is getting to such a beautiful place where, yes, we still have upsets and, you know, stuff like that, because that's important and you want to have some of those. We don't want this to turn into Quake. But, you know, it's like the best players are like up at the top all the time now. What's that say? Quick!
That font is really weird. I think it says it's the first time he's come in 16 years or something.
Yeah, that's correct.
Yeah.
The first time he went to the studio in 16 years? The studio hasn't been here for 16 years.
Maybe his last time he watched was 16 years ago.
Oh, okay.
So it's his first time watching in person.
So he was like
after
one of the first
16
people
years.
that ever watched StarCraft.
That's pretty cool, you know?
Yeah.
Longtime fan. He's back. And Taking a look at these builds, we did have a Nexus first out of herO. He actually sent out the probe a little bit farther just to make sure. I guess it was in proxy hatch. He's like, Rogue would do this. He has done this before.
Sure.
And just being a little bit extra safe as herO.
I'm trying to remember. That game on Deadwing with the proxy hatches, was that Rogue?
That was Rogue versus Classic.
That was so sick.
Yep.
What a sick, crazy game
We
that
made
was.
2 and Classic scouted 1, but not the other one.
Oh, man.
Insane.
Loved it. Great, great game. Definitely Rogue, a very smart player that can think on his feet. But mentioning the build orders that you just talked about, the pool first, very safe from Rogue, and then herO doing like the greediest Protoss build. So herO just with a slight advantage here in the early game.
Yeah. Rogue is going to try to make that back with a very, very quick third base and just try to get that economy going on his side of things. He has identified the timing of the Nexus with that first Overlord, and he's like, oh, okay, Nexus first.
We have 10 lings on the way. 14. He's actually making quite a few slow lings here. You might just do a slow ling flood. In fact, he must be, because why would you just make 14?
Well, there's the speed. But it's going to be a bit late for when these lings come out, of course.
Yeah, there it is. He's just making non-sup lings. Now, he has to get in there before wall goes up, because if the wall goes up, he's just going to die. A strat like this can be very risky, but it definitely has a potential payoff. He's seen the third base, so this is actually like a very good bait. Look at this. He's actually walking out. This is a very good chance this can kill him.
Careful. The wall is going to come up. I mean, it's so easy to make a wall on this map. That's one of the reasons why I'm like, I don't know about this. If he can totally go around herO's army here, get there unscouted, like right as speed finishes, and there's no zealot at the wall, this can definitely do a ton of damage.
There's not, I mean, he has a sentry about to pop out, and then if he recalls back, oh god, he's going to bust the wall, actually. The more I look at this, I'm pretty darn sure of it. Because he has to insta-recall, I do believe, and then he doesn't have Nexus Cannon.
Yeah. Sentry is blocking right now.
Oh gosh, I'm not sure. This is like very close.
Does he identify it in time? He's got a second sentry here. Immediately, the force field goes down. He's getting to work on that pylon on the left and trying to remake that wall right now.
Okay, he's trying to send the Mothership Core home, which I guess that's okay because he does. I mean, he needs the Nexus Cannon so badly.
Yeah. The question here is he going to be able to break that right side? That pylon's about to go down, and he makes another pylon here. Does he have enough for another force field as well?
No, he does not. And that is the problem, just breaking through before he actually gets these warpins.
Speed is done.
And, like, that's pretty much game.
Huge amount of lings coming
Nexus Cannon does not stop these lings from killing this Nexus.
Yeah. He force fields himself out of the base. Doesn't really matter at this point. He's getting so much damage done. That is an unbelievable amount of lings.
Yeah, that is a very nice mind game from Rogue. He just completely tricked herO there. Really, really well done. Very impressed with that mind game, actually. Like, showing that third base, he realized he was a little bit behind. It was like, kind of slightly risky. Like, if herO hadn't moved out, he wins. The game is over if he doesn't move out. Like, the Mothership Core, a Stalker, and a Zealot stand there, you never break through.
You know what? Maybe Rogue just studied his games on this map. Maybe, I know herO loves to do this, put on the pressure pretty early with just like Zealot, Stalker, Mothership Core. Maybe he studied him and he's like, okay, I can just go for this and kill you.
Yeah, he was probably thinking, herO's way too good to not move out.
Yeah.
You know, that's... Of course he'll move out here. I don't have speed on the way. This is a third base. GG. Game 1 going to Rogue. Very, very strong. He's outthought herO so far in this series.
Really nicely done. This is the way, actually, that Rogue needs to win this series, to be perfectly honest, I feel. I feel like herO is just slightly a better player, and Rogue needs to get in his head and outthink him, actually. Yeah. We were talking about before this game even started how he's just a very smart player in general. He really is. Yeah. And also, the one thing about Rogue that I want to mention is that sometimes when he gets behind in series, he can really get behind in series. He went 0-3 to stats in SSL, round of 8. Winning this first game is huge for Rogue in particular. He's he can like boost his mentality sometimes if he gets behind. Yeah, and that's herO was saying that, so that's definitely something that he wants to keep in mind here, see if he can throw him off. But after a win like that in a best of 5, Rogue has to be feeling good. Even if he loses this game, it's like, whatever, now we're in a best of 3, that's fine. herO, after that happened, he was kind of just laughing to himself. I saw him there right before the cameras came off. I mean, you really just have to laugh that one off. It's kind of hard to, but
Yeah.
you can't let it affect you.
It can be frustrating, but it was a mind game. Rogue won that mind game.
That it was.
So, what else can you really say about that? But fantastically done. Very, very impressed. Here we go, guys. Game number 2, Rogue against herO on King Sejong Station.